We live? We're live. Wow. Welcome, guys. We're coming at you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. In today's show, talk about my max allocations. Obviously, you saw in the thumbnail. Ethereum, sweet. I'll give you a few more that I'm max allocating to. We got an update from Jackson's Hole. Jerome Powell spoke and the markets rallied. Also, the big Trump announcement. Wow. Insanity. Absolute insanity. That's why the market's pumped. I'll share with you what it was and what we can expect. I am flying solo today, so I need your help. You watching. I got a Q&A up in the chat. Drop some questions, some conversation starters, and I'll run through those and we'll pick a few. We'll talk altcoins. We'll talk Kanye West. We'll talk RWAs. We'll look at the markets. And we'll have a lot of fun. Maybe I'll do a giveaway. We got that and much, much more on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go. Over here sabotaging me, just rolling. What if I would have said something very inappropriate? Not like we ever do that on the show. When? I didn't hear you. Anyways, that's neither here nor there nor anywhere. I'm excited to be here. It's Friday, guys. Today's show is going to be fire. I'll give you my thoughts, I'll give you my update on my portfolio, what I'm doing, where am I taking money off the table from, and where am I putting money on the table for? So with that being said, let's jump in. I was looking at some sweet stuff here. I'll share some sweet things. But the markets, actually, I'm going to pull up the bubbles. The crypto bubbles. Okay. So, green across the board minus OKB, which, thank God, it cooled off because that thing was running hot. I did say yesterday, any of you watching, if you have a position on OKB and you made money, amazing, awesome, I love it. Don't be in it too long. Have a clear, precise exit strategy, okay? You never know what happens behind the scenes. We saw what happened with FTX. I'm not saying OKB is going to go down the FTX road, but we see what happens with these companies. They take the overinflated valuations on their books and they use that to raise money, and then they get themselves in hot water. So just be careful. But you can see here on the bubbles, Aerodrome, 17%. Morpho, 20%. Athena, 17.7%. Hell, even ETH Classic is up, 18%. And then some memes, SPX. I mean, you guys, you take a look here. The ETH ecosystem is absolutely exploding. Okay? Arbitrum, Aerodrome, Optimism, ENS, right? This is a base token, aka an Ethereum play. Morpho, ETH Classic, although it's not directly tied. Athena, just absolutely crushing it. I've told you guys for the last 6-7 months, Ethereum, everyone was shitting on ETH, sleeping on ETH, saying it's going nowhere, it's slow, it's clunky. Who gives a shit if it's slow and clunky, or what we think and our thoughts about, well, no one's building on ETH. BS. We saw it coming. We're seeing it come to fruition now. Chainlink has been crushing it as well. That is up 9% on the day. And so a lot of money's being made. There's a couple sleepers I'm going to share with you today. If you've been watching our show, you're probably already allocated to it. But I think these are going to run. And so we're going to kick this thing off. We'll get into some charts here in a second. I'm going to take a swig of water. Paul Man said, curious to see what happens when Asia wakes up. Well, first, I think they'll have breakfast and coffee, but we'll see after that where it goes. Shorts got pegged. They got pegged right in the you-know-what. 4 hour, $350 million worth of shorts got liquidated. This is for the overall markets. Over the last 12 hours, $500 million, $381 million of shorts got liquidated. It was a massive squeeze, you guys, and it was because of what Jerome Powell said. Now, as far as technically, right, some technical analysis for you. This range from July 10th of this year through, what I draw this to, August 21st, so yesterday, this range, you can see our POC is sitting at 118 even, okay? This was a pretty big range with swing low of around 112, essentially coming into a double bottom, okay? Here and here, we called this out, the 112 level, the last few weeks, I would say week, 10 days. And so if you bought some there, congrats. We did actually nail a long there. Just to show you guys that, I'm not just blowing smoke up your you-know-what. So we did smash a long there. You can see here this is a limit entry, 112 on the limit order for Bitcoin on a long, 20x. Cashed out 115.7. Could have let that thing ride a little bit. But as they say, no one goes broke taking profit. So do not be afraid to take profit. Don't get greedy, okay? So we nailed this one for 67%. Also, big shout out to Weeks, who is our exclusive channel partner when it comes to trading. There's a link in the description, guys. This is a great platform. A lot of liquidity. Use it, trade, make some money. I posted trades in our Discord as well. And so hop in there. No KYC, no VPN if you're in the US. And these guys are great. So shout out to Weeks. If you don't have an account, create one. They're giving away almost $2 million. And so, again, that POC 118. Ideally, I saw someone put in the comments, I posted something on X about whether this move is going to have any momentum. It's going to have any follow through, or is this just going to be another flash in the pan? 118 is going to be the level. If we can break 118 with volume and stay above, I think we have a chance. This is on the 4-hour time frame, by the way. I think we have a really solid chance of going into a new all-time high. I was texting Forrest this morning. He wasn't feeling well. That's why he's not on here. I'm just going to read his text. Let's see what he says. He said, I think this is a big month for crypto, by the way. And so he believes we're going to end the month in the green. I also believe we're going to end the month in the green. We can actually take a peek from CoinGlass, where we're at currently on Bitcoin returns. August is currently, Q3 is up 8.8%. August is essentially even, 0.7. You can see the last 3 years, August has been a red month. September historically has been a red month. In fact, September is the worst month when it comes to average returns out of the 12 months of the year. But we know this cycle is different. I mean, we all tend, well, not we all. I don't necessarily, because I've been around the block a while, and I bet you a lot of you watching, this is your, second, third, fourth cycle, whatever it is. You don't get phased. And so for the people that maybe this is your first cycle, I take you to this chart, okay? When you find yourself caught up in the emotion of, oh my God, I'm scared, the market's going to die, just zoom out. Out of the last 8 months so far, only 2 have closed in the red. And one of the months was March, a minus 2.3%, which is nothing. It's nothing. If you just zoom out and remove your emotions, January plus 10%, April plus 14%, May plus 10%, June plus 2.5%, July plus 8%, and August currently 0.07 in the green. Add them up, subtract the negative months, divide it by 8, and that is your average return. I know no one's on their fourth cycle. I know, Peaksy, I know. Maybe I misspoke a little bit. Second or third cycle, whether you're a super OG, whatever. You get the point. These are phenomenal returns. No one is getting these returns, and this is on Bitcoin. And we haven't even seen the altcoin markets rally. So just keep that in mind. Next time you see a dip, maybe this isn't the end. Maybe we don't break 118, and we come back down to 108, maybe 100. Some people are saying we're going to go sub 100, 90. I don't think we're going to go sub 100, but you never know. At the end of the day, you always want to zoom out. If you stay in it for the long haul, you're going to make money, okay? Let's talk about the big announcement. So it's funny. We're seeing a trend here. Anytime Jerome Powell is going to speak, Trump comes out with an announcement, right? Big, major announcement coming. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, like, what are they going to talk about? They're going to talk about, I don't know, something about crypto, the bill. I don't know. But, well, for those of you that were waiting, that woke up extra early to catch this is what the announcement was. And so I'll let you be the decision maker on whether this was underwhelming or overwhelming. As it loads. Please load. Don't do this to me. Thanks, Gina. That's messed up. Okay. All right. We'll come back to the video. Damn it, man. Please tell me this video works.
In the near term.
Okay, this video works. Okay, we'll come back to the Trump announcement. First, let's talk about why the markets are rallying. Jackson Hole, Jerome Powell's last ever speech at Jackson Hole Symposium. This is once-a-year event where the Fed and you know, their dignitaries meet in Wyoming at Jackson Hole to talk about monetary policy, to talk about what they expect moving forward. And well, I think this little 50-second clip, I think he spoke for about 8 to 12 minutes. This 50-second clip, I think is we can point to this and say, this is why the markets rally. Take a listen to what Mr. Powell had to say.
In the near term, risks to inflation are tilted to the upside and risks to employment to the downside, a challenging situation. When our goals are in tension like this, our framework calls for us to balance both sides of our dual mandate. Our policy rate is now 100 basis points closer to neutral than it was a year ago, and the stability of the unemployment rate and other labor market measures allows us to proceed carefully as we consider changes to our policy stance.
Bam, right there. As we consider changes to our policy stance, I think that one, just think about this for a second. One man has the power to add trillions of dollars to the global markets with one sentence. Just think about that for a second. Okay, it could have easily gone the opposite way. It didn't, thank God. Can only imagine what the crazies would be saying on X right now. Market's over, sell everything. Oh my God, I lost my house. So very dovish. I agree. RJ loves hockey. RJ, what's your favorite team, by the way? Very curious. But that was the one sentence, guys, that literally added trillions, multiple trillions of dollars into not just the stock market, but the crypto, well, not trillions in the crypto market, but overall, globally in the U.S. and abroad, added trillions. And so I'll rewind it a little bit and we'll finish off. There's about 30 seconds left of this Jerome Powell clip.
Policy stance. Nonetheless, with policy in restrictive territory, the baseline outlook and the shifting balance of risks may warrant adjusting our policy stance. Monetary policy is not on a preset course. FOMC members will make these decisions based solely on their assessment of the data and its implications for the economic outlook and the balance of risks. We will never deviate from that approach.
Okay, so there it was. Mr. Powell saying it's time to maybe adjust our policy. The market's absolutely smacked. We can take a look at the S&P. Actually, I want to take a look at, well, we can take a look at both. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 up 1.62%. Let's go to the daily. Pretty big candle. Decent spike in volume. NASDAQ, again on the daily. Big green candle. I think this was the largest candle we've had since really this gap back in the 9th of May. Investors love it, right? What we say is a lot of volatility around these Fed speeches, the Jackson Hole, the Fed minutes, because people are looking for guidance. What can we expect? And we try to front run it. Okay. So I don't know. Either way, I thought we were going to be fine. If he said they're not going to cut rates, I think we would have definitely saw a dip in the markets. But hey, these are all buying opportunities. If you believe that we are in a bull market, which we do here, both myself and my co-host who is not here today. And if he didn't, and he was signaling rate cuts, which we just saw, the markets rally. Either way, we are good. And so you should be happy. You should be excited. And you should be, I don't want to say lucky, but you should consider yourself lucky relative to what majority of people are doing that don't have any exposure to the space. And those of you that have been around for a while and have been allocating since the bear market of 2022, you are about to be handsomely rewarded. And so shout out, and then take a look at this from the CME. Let me actually give this one a refresh, see if we came in any higher. 85.3% now believe that we are going to get a 25 basis point rate cut in the month of September 18th to be exact. And so I think Jerome Powell just paved the way for us to have a beautiful, amazing, the greatest altcoin season. Okay, I'm going to try to go back to this video because, you know what? Let me try to refresh the page. I know exactly the timestamp to go to. Let's see if we can get this thing pulled up. There we go. Okay, 2145 was my timestamp.
Great, fantastic.
There we go. Okay, so here was the announcement. The big massive, huge announcement from President Trump. And, well, this is what it was. If you're not familiar, this is, forgot his first name, Infantino, president of FIFA. You know, FIFA's coming to North America in 2026. Super excited for that. And this was their big announcement.
To announce what you said, which is the final draw of the FIFA World Cup on the 5th of December here in the capital, in the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. at 12 noon sharp. It will be broadcast live all over the world. 1 billion viewers will watch it. And it will determine, of course, the match schedule, which 48 participating teams will play. You said it, 104 matches in 1 month, 104 Super Bowls. This is not just the big...
Wow, guys, big announcement. Stop everything. Bring the media in here. Sell your puts. Buy the calls. The FIFA draw is happening in the U.S., in the Capitol. I'm so happy. I got up early. I showered, shaved, did my hair, and then this is the announcement we got. All jokes aside, guys, it's just funny seeing the tit for tat with Trump and Powell. Powell speaking, Trump has an announcement. No one cares about soccer, said Peaksy. Fair enough. I'm going to take a peek at the chat, see if we're getting Q&As here. We got 307 people watching, only 66 likes. Do us a favor, like the video. It's free. It's something simple you can do, and it really helps the channel grow as it tells the YouTube algorithm that, hey, the people in here, they truly enjoy the content that David is making without Rob. It's a nice show, nice and quiet. I can get 2 words out. And so, yeah. CJM said, why do mirrors reverse left and right but not up and down? Listen, man, I consider myself smart. I'm not that smart. And so I can't answer your question, unfortunately. If you have any crypto questions, I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. Okay, let's take a look. Let's talk about ETH, okay? I know the empty seat guy here, okay? The guy that usually sits here, okay? That guy. Very loud, very outspoken. I know he likes to tell you he didn't punt on ETH, that he just said it wasn't going to outperform Bitcoin, and he never said it. Bullshit. We all know on this show, there was one host that would continue to say, do not punt on ETH, accumulate Ethereum. Ethereum's going to have a massive rally. And here we are, Ethereum leading the way. I'm going to show you some stats and metrics, okay, that will open your eyes to what I've been saying for the last 6 damn months, okay? We saw this coming. We extrapolated it out. And here we are. It's happening in front of our eyes. And so if you're the kind of person that needs the proof in the pudding, okay, get out the pudding because I'm about to put the proof in it, okay? Also, what's your favorite pudding? Chocolate or vanilla? I like the swirl. The swirls are really good. A little bit of fudge on the bottom. Delicious. Okay. These are Ethereum ETF flows, okay, from farside.uk, okay? $287 million flowed into the Ethereum ETFs yesterday, collectively. BlackRock led the way with $233.6 million. Second was Fidelity at 28.5. The important thing here, though, not a single ETF issuer had an outflow. They were all inflows, okay? Now, let's check in on the Bitcoin ETF. Well, as you can see here, my friends, the Bitcoin ETF extending to a 5-day streak, an entire week-long streak of outflows, saw $195 million flow out of their Bitcoin ETFs. So, you don't need to be a genius. You don't need to be a macro guru. You don't even need to know markets. Money left here and it went into here. Very simple. And so we said this was coming. Wall Street is following the traditional path of money in crypto, where it goes from Bitcoin down to ETH. So now that we know, okay, our biases and our analyses have been confirmed, okay? ETH was going to get a bid. It's been getting a bid, okay? Now, can ETH go to 8K, 10K, 20K? Sure. My bet is anywhere between 8 to 12, okay? Can it go higher? Yeah. Can it go lower? Sure. Now, we're not going to maximize our ROIs by putting our money in ETH, okay? So the question then becomes, let's look forward another 2-3 months and where we're going to make the most money. And if you look at the cycle of how money flows, we should see money start to move into mid caps. Okay? Avalanche, XLM, Hedera, ICP, Caspa, really anything between 20 and 100 or 20 and 75. That is where you want to look. And then you want to dig in deeper. What ecosystems? Is it an Ethereum ecosystem? Is it a SWI ecosystem? Is it a Solana ecosystem? Is it a sector like AI or gaming? We'll talk about all that on today's show, okay? But sticking with ETH still has a way to go. If you've been accumulating ETH from $1,800, congratulations, you're going to make a lot of money, okay? You'll make a 5X, a 6X, a 4X, I don't know. That is a good amount of money, especially if you're entering these positions with size, okay? Now, it's not just the ETFs and Wall Street that are bidding the shit out of ETH. It is Bitcoin OGs that are also moving their Bitcoin, selling it, and using those funds to buy Ethereum. Take a look at this from Look On Chain. A Bitcoin OG who received 100,000 Bitcoins 7 years ago, valued at $642 million. Damn, I wish I would have bought that. Ended his dormancy recently, okay? Now, typically when we see these whales wake up, and funds move, they sell it and they cash it out and they take their profit. But this person or this wallet sold their Bitcoin while buying $267 million worth of Ethereum, 62,914 ETH. And they bought it spot and they opened a massive $577 million Ethereum long position. We just spotted another Bitcoin OG depositing Bitcoin into Hyperliquid to sell and buy ETH. On-chain tracking shows that this wallet received 85,900 Bitcoin 7 years ago, matching the trading pattern of the OG wallet they reported recently, and they say it's likely the same whale. They've identified 6 other wallets still holding a massive 83,000 Bitcoin. These are the wallets if you want to go and verify for yourself. We got Wall Street selling Bitcoin, bidding ETH. We got Bitcoin OGs selling Bitcoin, bidding Ethereum. And take a look at this. Not just with money, but with narrative also. We know that narrative also drives speculation. It's from Nate Garassi. Proponents see Ethereum becoming the platform of choice for the financial world. ETH narrative continues to go mainstream. This wasn't posted on CoinDesk, on Crypto Potato, on some small publication that only does. This was posted in the Wall Street Journal. Peter Thiel leads pack of investors piling into Ether. Okay? So, you got the actual inflows, you got the narrative inflows. Everything is helping ETH. And then we have this. This was on the Bankless podcast. This is Eric Peters, the Chief Investment Officer of Coinbase Asset Management, given his thesis on Ethereum, and I'm curious to get your thoughts, you watching. Again, I don't have a co-host, so I need your help. Be active in the chat. I want to hear your thoughts as this video plays. I'll share mine, and then we'll kind of go back and forth, and I'll share some of yours that you put in the chat, so let's take a listen.
You can be a long-term bull, and you can be bearish in the short run. I've called ETH a dog for so long, because it has been, but like it hasn't gotten me bearish on ETH. Yeah. Over the long term, because we're building things on ETH, and now you're starting to see it's like, okay, the whole financial system is going to move, I believe, to ETH and to, you know, as just a foundational layer. If you have that conviction and you kind of see things unfold, it's fine to be like, this thing is such a dog. And it was like, everyone hates it, but you kind of knew that things that are being built on this are going to start to get announced and Wall Street's going to come to it. And then you're like, all right, well, I don't know what your valuation model is, but if people start really using this across the financial system, it's going to be, the price is going to be higher than it is today, particularly when everyone's so bearish.
So, look, you can see that and say, okay, Coinbase, they have their base chain, which is on ETH, right? So obviously there's probably a little bias there, okay? But still, narrative aside, biases aside, just look at where the money is going and you can follow the path. So curious to what you guys think. Now, this doesn't mean that other layer ones aren't better than Ethereum. Certain things ETH doesn't do well that Solana does well, or SWI does well. There's certain things ETH has that the others don't, like liquidity and security and longevity. So it's not a one winner takes all, in my personal opinion. I think what Chainlink is doing with, let me adjust my mic here. What Chainlink is doing with CCIP, it's not going to matter, right? The liquidity fragmentation is not going to be that big of a deal, right? It's just going to be, where are people setting up their home base? Is it on ETH? Is it on Solana? Is it on Bitcoin? Either way, I think it all will flourish. But obviously, you're seeing Ethereum is taking the lead and taking the charge. And we're seeing it play out like we've seen in multiple cycles before. And now I think we'll see in multiple cycles moving forward. It starts with ETH and altcoins, and then it starts rolling down. Annoyingly Charming said, ETH sucks. Okay. Yes, it's slow. I can name 10 blockchains that are faster. At the end of the day, the people with the money and the people that have the power to make the decisions, where are they sticking their money? Who are they going with? That's what matters, not what you and I think. You can be the fastest blockchain in the world. You can have the most users in the world. You can have the best apps. And oh my God, we do 700 blocks per second. It does not matter. You can sit there and say, I have the best coffee shop in the entire world. No one makes coffee like I do. Starbucks coffee sucks. But if no one comes and buys your coffee, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. So remove your subjective biases out of it. It does not matter. Look where the money's going and go there. Try to beat them there. That's the point. That's how we make money. Okay? And then Wall Street, well, they're trying to make some money on the arbitrage. It's what Mark Yusko was so on point when he was here a year ago. A year ago. He told you this was happening before people were reporting on it. Short the futures and long the spot, or long the futures and short the spot. And you make money in the middle. Right? It's called arbitraging. And so look at this from Wrecked Fencer. Wall Street hedge funds are shorting ETH. Their net short position just hit a record high. The mother of all short squeezes is coming for ETH. Take a look at this chart. This looks like Robin's testosterone levels just absolutely plummeting, going down. What? Was that too deep of a cut there? That was fine, right? No? Brian's shaking his head like I crossed some crazy line or something. Anyways, yeah, good luck to the shorts, because I think ETH is about to hit 5K very soon. Let's take an actual peek at Ethereum. An ETH chart, 47.73, blowing through. I mean, okay, so let's take a peek here, okay? We had a bounce off essentially our gold pocket. We measured this move. This move here from 34.90. Right? This is the beginning, essentially, of our flag. We came back. Oh, didn't quite hit our gold pocket there. I mean, I guess if you play around with these fib levels, you can move it up to the first green candle right after the pullback, the little pullback here on the 5th of August. And you can see that we tapped the top end of our gold pocket, and ETH just had a massive rally. Again, guys, the important thing to note is, do we have spikes in volume with these moves up? Which we do. Okay? But you can see here, the one-to-one move, we're seeing a double top. Right now, we're seeing a double top as we currently speak. And let me remove that. But this flag, okay, looks like this flag's playing out. And if this is a breakout of this flag, your measured move, my friends, would take ETH all the way up to 56.05. Okay? Now, I know that this 56.05 is, or 56.21, this isn't gospel. This doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but this would just be the measured move off of ETH. Big spike in volume. Let's take a look at what Market Cipher B is telling us. I think we subverted a little bit of a potential, I don't want to say abomination, but this could have very easily been a red dot, and this would have been an anchor wave, trigger wave short on Market Cipher B. This is a daily time frame on Ethereum. Things are looking good, man. Momentum oscillators are showing us there's follow through coming, right? The move is real. You're seeing VWAP has crossed above our zero line at 7, and money flow has just been expanding. I mean, we've been in green money flow since the beginning of May. Think about that, okay? You see this, you use indicators like this, you see money flow continuing to expand, and while price was kind of chopping sideways, and well, price followed what money flow told us it was going to do. Let's zoom into the 4 hour here. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. Love seeing big spikes in volume. The one thing I will say though, I want to see where this volume ends up on ETH on this 4 hour time frame. Let's throw on our high volume points. You can see here a lot of sellers stepping in at around this 47.70 level, 47.86. Last time we were up here on the 13th of August, we had around 1.34 million ETH was sold at this level. This is obviously a massive sell wall that we do need to conquer. We take a look down here on ETH. Let me get rid of some of these brush strokes here on market cipher B. I mean, just absolute strength here. You had a beautiful, I mean, take a look at this, guys. There's your anchor wave with a green dot, actually a double green dot. And here's your beautiful, just like a picture perfect trigger wave. If you use market cipher B, okay? If you don't use market cipher B, it is well worth the money. Well worth the money. I made my money back 20-fold on paying for this indicator. There's a link in the description if you want to support the channel. This anchor wave trigger wave, this was a picture perfect trigger wave with a green dot in there. Let's take a peek at when this signal flashed. Where was Ethereum? Okay. Let's drop a vertical here. And I like to do these live so you guys can see. This is where it flashed. This candle. If you would have entered on the very next candle, you would have caught the entirety of the move. This is a 13% move times your leverage because we're a bunch of absolute degenerates. Okay? I'm a very big degenerate. 68x last week? I know I missed the 69x. That would have been way better. What was I thinking? Seriously, like, what was I doing? It's a bad move. Bad move on my part. I apologize. Should have been a 69x leverage. But this would have given you a signal. You enter in on the next candle and you're up 14%. Multiplied by your leverage. It's a really nice trade in a bull market. And so that's one we hit. Yeah. But ETH looks great. Again, on the 4 hour, I am looking for volume to exceed what we saw in the previous 4 hour time frame, which was around 135,000. We are currently sitting at around 96.7 thousand Ethereum traded in this 4 hour session. We can zoom out to the 1 hour. You see the 1 hour showing a little bit of a pullback. This could very well turn into another flag on the 1 hour. Okay. Massive move up. That's your pull. Little bit of a trend to the downside. That's your flag. Now, what we can do to try to figure out, well, where is ETH going to stop? Okay. We just draw our fib, move up to the top. Okay. First level shows is your 236 level, 46.92. But I think, and just from my personal experience and looking at the charts and really, charting these things out and trading them, this 50% fib level is a great place to bid on a pullback after a move up, great place to bid on a long, and then the vice versa, great place to bid on a short as well. In this case, obviously, you would be bidding in a long. So 45.27, if I were you, I would put in let's get it right here, 45. You know what? $45.27.21. That is our 50% Fibonacci retracement level. If I were you, I would put an alert at this level. If price does retrace here, I would expect a huge bounce. Let's see if there's any liquidity points coming in here. We have one liquidity point just below it sitting at 43.68. In fact, I'm going to hide my fib level so I can see this a little more clearly. You do have a little bit of selling, not a big one, but around 130,000 ETH was sold right at above our 50% fib level, which is going to be 47.58, which is where we expect price to go down to if it continues this pullback down to, again, hopefully that 50% fib level. And so again, guys, I would have that level marked out and I would come back. If we hit that level, open up your market cipher B, take a look at what the indicators are telling us. Are the momentum indicators up or down? Where's the trend going? Where's our VWAP? Where's our money flow? And where's the momentum waves? You can see we are putting in higher highs on the momentum waves, which is exactly what you want to see. And so ETH for me, I'm not trading in now. I want to see where this pullback goes. I want to take a peek at volume, and I want to take a peek at the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frames. Okay, I'm going to go to the chat. 337 live viewers, 113 likes. Do us a favor, like the video, sub to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Shout out to our mods in here. I'm going to just stroll in the questions. No questions. Guys, if you have questions, drop them in the chat, the Q&A. I want to answer them for you, okay? Now, you've heard my reasons for max bidding ETH, okay? I'll talk about the ETH ecosystem in a second. I also want to talk a little bit about SWI, as it is on the thumbnail. Now, let's actually jump to a SWI chart, okay? SWI has been very choppy. SWI. Let's see if we see any bullish divergence here. No hidden bullish divergence. I was looking to see if we had any there. But on SWI, as you can see here, looks like we are coming into a little bit of a W pattern here. Right? There's your first bottom. Come in, fail to make a new high. Second bottom. And this should be a big move. Now, I will caution you, usually what we see with W patterns, and this is not the same every single time, usually you'll get another top, a little bit of a pullback, and then it's rocket time, okay? So this is SWI. But as you can see here, SWI has just been trending down really since hitting the peak back in July, okay? So about a month ago, just been in this essentially a symmetrical triangle, which is coming to an end. Okay, so we do expect this thing to blow up to the upside. And you take a look at, well, what's happening under the hood? Deep Book cracked the top 100. Walrus cracked the top 100. Both of these are SWI ecosystem plays. They're DApps. In first half of 2025, this is posted directly from the SWI Foundation, or the SWI Network. In the first half of 2025, the SWI community powered 2.7 billion transactions, 1 billion in TVL, peaking past 2 billion and 3.4 billion if you include the liquid staking. An expanded validator set. Everstake's latest report dives into SWI and Walrus staking trends. I did, I was in the middle of pulling up DeFi Llama before Gina just sprung that damn live show on me. Did they change? Brian, you shut your mouth, Brian. Okay, SWI. 2 billion. Okay, you take a look here. TVL has been expanding since August 4th of last year. So year over year, we are, what is that, a 5x? No, more than that. About a 5x. We're a 5x from a year ago on TVL for SWI. Fees paid have decreased. DEX volume has flattened out a little bit going back to the beginning of the month. We did see a little bit of a spike on the 14th of August. You can see here over the last 1 month which protocols have been crushing it, okay? XSWI, which is a liquid staking, that's up 45% over the last 1 month. 7-day change, that's up 65%. You take a look at just the last 1 day. And I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with a lot of these, okay? I don't use SWI on a day-to-day basis, but I can still look at the project and see what's actually happening and figure out, is this something worth having a max allocation to? And I think it is. Deep Book on the day up 8%. Very unique in what Deep Book is doing. Take a look here. DEX volume, 1.26 billion over the last 30 days. Market cap is sitting at 400 million. And then they're fully diluted as 1.6. And you can see this is their TVL and some of their metrics. So SWI is another one I'm bullish on from a TA perspective and from a fundamental perspective, right? They go in pods. XRP ran great. AVAX ran a little bit up to $60, cooled off. Solana had its run, cooled off. AAVE had its run, cooled off. BitTensor had its run, cooled off. They go in spurts, okay? And when I look forward, I'm like, okay, what ran hasn't ran yet? Or what do I think is going to run that hasn't ran yet? Toncoin comes to mind. I can't say that. I was going to say Polkadot. I can't. I just can't wrap my head around why anyone would have money in Polkadot. SWI had a little bit of a run, cooled off. I think it'll run again. Hedera had a little bit of a run, cooled off, had a run again. I think Algorand's going to have a big run. I think Stellar Lumens. We saw this thing run from 9 cents to 60 cents, 64 cents. and has done almost nothing. It ran all the way up to 42 cents again, but these are the things. So that's another thing that I'm personally looking at is over the last 90 days, what is not really up? What's down? Virtuals down 37% over the last 90 days. It had a massive run. Let's take a look at a virtuals chart. I think virtuals got some legs to run. Got a nice bag of virtuals. Let's go virtuals MEXC. Clean up the chart here. You know, in fact, let's just get a brand new chart. I mean, look at this run from virtuals. 3 cents in October of last year. 7,500% rally. Cool off. Little bit of a spike coming into a little bit of a pennant / flag pattern on the weekly. Massive accumulation here, guys. Let me actually see where we're at. I mean, if you're a fib drawer, if you like using Fibonacci, just look how perfectly we get bounces off of this gold pocket here. From $1.18 to $1.26. And it's been accumulating. Volume has been dropping. And in fact, I want to throw on, look at how tight these bands are getting, okay? Look at how tight these bands got here. Now, I know there wasn't a lot of data here, but look at how tight these bands got, 7,500% move. We go to the 3-day, tight bands on a 3-day, right? We have a more recent analysis here that we can look at these Bollinger Bands. Virtuals rallied 400%. 2-day, same thing. Daily, same thing. The daily is even tighter, okay? Last time the daily got tight like this was back on in April, the middle of April, and virtuals rallied 350%. So I think virtuals got a big rally coming up. Had a rally, cooled off, is going to continue to get another rally. So this is like my thought process of, okay, I made money here, I took profit, where do I want to move my money into? Okay? I'm not removing it from the market, I'm just removing it from the position and adding it to a different market. Okay. Diamond Hand Daryl said, Davis. I don't know who Davis is. Crypto Billy, what is your all-time high price prediction for ADA? That's a good question. Okay. Cardano. Let's take a peek. ADA. I would love to say and see ADA go between $7 and $10. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think it all depends, Billy, to answer your question. It depends on Bitcoin DeFi. Midnight, I'm not sure, right? We were bullish on people having to create a Cardano wallet, and then now they're in the Cardano ecosystem, but like, are they doing anything in there? Like, I can go create a wallet in every single network. Doesn't mean I'm doing shit. Doesn't mean I'm adding value to it. Doesn't mean I'm using it. Doesn't mean I'm bullish on it. Right? Like, okay, you're here, do something. Right? Like, I walk into an art gallery, just because I walk in doesn't mean I'm bringing value to the business. If I buy something, I bring value to the business. Same thing. So I'm curious to see how the Bitcoin DeFi narrative plays out, what actual utility they pull from that, and what kind of volume we see as far as people actually using it, things happening on it, and what kind of market share is Cardano going to grab from the Bitcoin DeFi? You know, talk about $2 trillion. Well, how much of that is going to move on chain? How much is that going to be used to make money on chain? And if that happens, what percentage of that is Cardano going to get as market share? And so no stable coin yet, centralized stable coin, which I do think every chain needs to some degree, Tether or Circle, right? We could throw an RLUSD in there. I don't think it's big enough there. But yeah, I mean, if ADA doesn't make a new all-time high this cycle, which is like $3.05, I would be a little worried. I think it will. I think it will make a new all-time high, maybe $4 or $5, right? It got to $3, but nothing, no smart contracts, nothing, just hopium. It's got smart contracts. It's got Hydra. It's got Leos, right? Midnight dropped. Bitcoin DeFi. It's the infrastructure's there. Bring the people in. Use that treasury money. Market. Get people in there. Get a badass dApp. Get like Jupiter to expand to Cardano. Something. Get the people in there, get it to use it, get people to use it. And yeah, but $7 to $10, I think more likely this is on the optimistic side, whereas 6 months ago was my base case. $4 to $5, I think, is my base case, which at 90 cents, that's still almost a 5x. Not too bad from the top 10 crypto in the entire world. A project we know is not going anywhere. We know it's not going to rug. And so, does it get much safer than that? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe outside of like Chainlink and Ethereum. All right, let's talk about Kanye. Well, who would have thought the man who likes to pimp out his wife was going to rug you? The man who likes to parade his wife pretty much nude across the world was going to take care of you. Do you guys really think that? Anyways, I'm crossing my fingers and my toes. You can't see them, but they're crossed. That no one from this community that watches this show got in. Because let's be real. The only people that made money was the insiders. This is a chart. Okay? Let's sort it by market cap. Ran out 3.4 billion, now is down to 3 million. Or 6.8 or 680 million. This is just the reality of what we see. Okay, so this is from SolanaFloor.com. Kanye West Yeezy token launch on Solana sparks frenzy and scrutiny. Shocker. Within 2 hours of going live, the token hit a staggering 3 billion market cap. On-chain trading volume reached $512 million in the first 3 hours. And then, well, it died. Okay, take a look at this. Traders got wrecked. 56,000 wallets touched the token. Out of those, 15,000 lost up to $500. 1,200 lost between $500 and $1,000. 1,800 lost between $1,000 and $5,000. 523 lost between 10K and 100K. And 64 wallets lost between 100,000 and 1 million. Meanwhile, only 5 wallets made $1 million or more. So I urge you, do not chase these. Okay, this meta is over, right? The cat's out of the bag. We know it's the same wallets that do the same shit. They get a tip prior, or they're the ones behind it. They scoop up a shitload before anyone even knows the contract address. And then as hype builds up, you get in. By the time you hear about it on social media, it is too late. Okay? It is too late. I'm pretty plugged into the crypto ecosystem, the whole KOL shit. Like, we don't even get heads up, right? So just, it's not worth it. There's so many better ways to make money. Don't chase these bullshit launches from bullshit people. You're going to lose your money. So yeah, I had to bring that up. All right, let's talk about some altcoins. I'm going to talk about Tau. Let me close these out. Let's start with BNB. I think BNB made a new high. In fact, let's check out BNB. I think it hit 900 today, I believe. Take a peek. High today was 898.54. BNB is another one. We've jokingly said this is the best hedge in a bear market. But I mean, look at that, guys. Let me just clean up the chart here. I mean, this is on the weekly. This is on the monthly. This thing has just been nothing but up and to the right. When you look at the peak it had in October, pullback was about 71%, chopped sideways, and it was the first mover. I believe, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but BNB was the first altcoin to get a new all-time high this cycle. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. BNB in the top 100 was the first major altcoin to hit a new all-time high this cycle. I think it's going to continue to make a new all-time high this cycle. Okay. Take a look at this. China Renaissance, which is a Hong Kong public company, is buying $100 million worth of BNB. In addition to buying BNB, many other long-term strategic partnerships are involved. Let's build the ecosystems together. This is posted by CZ. Now, we'll say, similar to OKB, very centralized, right? Very manipulated, but I'd feel a lot safer being long-term in BNB than I would being in OKB. BNB's been here longer. BNB's got more capital. BNB's the largest exchange in the world, Binance is. I think CZ, I don't know anyone from OKB. and this is not something that, you know, I say this as like, oh, the founder of OKB is shady. No, we know CZ's not shady. He's been around for a while. He's not a Sam Bankman-Fried, okay? So you have that. And then you have just, it's got an ecosystem. I know OKB's got their layer 1, but let's face it, it's nowhere near the ecosystem that Binance Smart Chain has. And so I feel safer being in BNB than I would in OKB. Now, I don't think your risk to reward is there to put your money in BNB. So what do? If you believe that the ecosystem is going to continue to grow, but the native token is not worth the risk, dig into the ecosystem. PancakeSwap. It's starting to branch outside of just BNB. A few other ones. I know Legacy Token, right? They were a channel sponsor for a long time. We love Legacy. Just because they're not a sponsor anymore doesn't mean that we don't like the product. They got a token out. It's been kind of chopping sideways at $1.75. That's a BNB ecosystem token. So there's one of them. The second one, Tau, okay? Now, BitTensor. Tokenomics, kind of similar to Bitcoin. It's got a halving coming up, okay? Crypto Stevo said, good AI projects in BNB. I agree. There's one, I think it's HyperGPT or something GPT on there. But anyways, let's talk about BitTensor. Huge upcoming catalyst for Tau. First halving, December 13th, okay? Bitcoin went up 7,000% after its first halving. I'm not saying, and I don't think this person is saying, but well, let me give some credit here. James Altucher. Interesting look there. You know what? Okay. A little bit of Albert Einstein. I mean, this guy just looks like he's smart, you know? It looks like he knows what he's talking about. Looks like he can break down what a modular hardware on, I don't know. But you look, this guy says Tau is going to go up 7,000%. I'm with it, bro. Right? You feel me? Gina, like, if you saw this person on TV giving financial advice, wouldn't you just dump your entire life savings to whatever he was saying? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Totally.
Wow. Insane. Absolutely insane. So anyways, I got sidetracked there for a little bit. Let's go back to what this person said. And I think, there we go. Okay, so first halving, December 13th for Tau. B, subnet cap move. So they did have a cap on the subnets at 128. They've doubled that to 256. So each new subnet, well, now why is that bullish? Each new subnet has to stake Tau. And all the new validators have to stake, increasing demand and reducing the supply. Couple that with the halving. This will create over 1 billion in immediate demand for Tau tokens. This alone pushes the price to 3,000. He says it will happen. I don't know. I don't like saying certainties. It will happen. It's definitely doing this. No. Okay. C, Bitcoin going back to all-time highs around the rate cut time. So they're saying, hey, look, Bitcoin's going up. Tau's going to go up. And then one of the subnets becoming a better than centralized AI competitors. This will happen. I actually agree with this. You have a lot of amazing subnets. Shoots is one of them. He mentioned Bitmine. Score is another one, right? The creators of D-King, which is going to be Sire here in the next 7 days. Sorry, hold on one second. My kid's home alone. There was someone at the door. I got to make sure he's not getting... Okay. Amazon delivery. My wife just cannot stop with the Amazon. Jesus Christ. Fuck, man. Every time I pull out my bank, I'm like, what the fucking Amazon. Okay. And then the rest, I'm not even going to mention it. But super bullish on Tau. I think Tau is my third largest holding in my portfolio. Number one when it comes to AI. I'm a huge believer in BitTensor. I love the decentralized AI. And so these are some of the catalysts. So this is one that I think is still undervalued that you can make a lot of money on. And then Cardano, you know, Billy brought up Cardano. Here's some Cardano metrics. Over the last 48 hours, so 2 days, whales have scooped up 180 million ADA tokens. It's a lot of ADA tokens. Okay, so you see where the trend is going. We're going to get a massive alt season. And so I hope that you guys are prepared. Right. I think that's it for the show today. Real quick, Crypto Stevo said, who gets more attention from strippers, Rob or David? Definitely Rob, because I don't go to strip clubs, man. I don't like strip clubs. I'm not a fan. You know, I went to, you want to hear my strip club story? So I was in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Okay. I was at a Packer game. for my birthday. Raiders, Packers, 2014 in December. I think Packers won like 44-12. I was with a guy, you know, he was single. Was I single? No, I was not single. He dragged me to the strip club. I was like, all right, whatever, I'll go. First of all, as you can imagine, the talent was, let's just say you'd probably need a bottle of Jack to just absolutely enjoy yourself and spend money. So anyways, I'm like, look, I'm not going to sit by the dancers. I'm just going to sit in the back area. You know, they got like a little circular area, just sit in the back. I was like, I'll just have a couple of drinks. Whatever. My God, every 5 minutes, a stripper will come up. Hey, how you doing? What's your name? Where are you from? You want a lap dance? No, I'm good. 5 minutes later, hey, how you doing? What's your name? Where you from? You want a lap dance? No, I'm good. 5 minutes later, hi, oh my God, I don't want a lap dance. I'm here. I'm looking at some titties. I'm going to grab a drink, and I really want to go home. Fucking Brian, you idiot. So, to me, strip clubs are annoying. Like, I'm not like, you know, I'm good, bro. I'm good. My love life is good. I don't need to look at other titties. What, Brian? Never mind. All right, that'll do it for the show today, guys. Thank you all very much. Forrest is live on Sistine right now, and so go join him there. And I'm assuming there's some of you that have never seen the show before. Sub to the channel, have a notification bell on. I did do a video, okay? XRP versus Chainlink. That's been a topic that's been very hot on social media. I gave my thoughts in a video. Go watch that after the show. And I want to give a big thank you to our channel sponsor, Cam's Blue Wire Tech. If you want to learn how Cams can help your business scale and grow in the world of IT, cybersecurity, and networking, visit bluewiretech.com. With that being said, I love you guys. I think I'm going to do a Sunday live stream playing some poker on stake.us. And so join me. That's all I got. Roll the outro. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a lovely weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday or Sunday. Until then, peace.
Sin City, crypto, everybody know we here for entertainment and info, gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in, for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in then you win, we divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David, I split the game but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite, I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners, special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners, ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors, they gonna teach us mean coins, they polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin, laggers we trade them in, baddies they came to sin, and sinners gon' play to win, screaming hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya, to the moon then to the solar, won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya, it's over, when the finger tornado